Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order and advise that the meeting is being video recorded and live streamed. If you are attending the meeting and have not signed in, please do so when you leave so that we can record your attendance. I ask if there's a disclosure of interest. As there is none, we have an adoption of the agenda for this morning. It's been moved and seconded with the following additions. Deputations 4B, lot creation 1 Boundary Drive East, email from Edward Smith dated February 23rd, 2026, expressing concerns and objection regarding the proposal to upgrade the open road allowance known as Boundary Road East Extension. 6H, report number 2026.33, cyber insurance renewal and insurance premiums versus the budget of 2026. Number 10D, Ontario Federation of Agriculture and Municipal Council Agricultural Awareness and Engagement Survey. And number 11, an email from Jim Gilbert, First Vice President, Quebec Falls Branch 225, Royal Canadian Legion, regarding the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion. Is there any more items to adjust on the agenda? As there's not, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. The first deputation we have is Cooper Road Plan of Subdivision. We have an email from Stéphane Houzan from Northern Planning, and Gino is here as well if you'd like to come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just a little reminder that deputations are for 10 minutes, please. Thank you.
Could you speak in the?
You have to turn the light on.
Oh, wait. How about, there we go. Good morning, Mayor, members of council, Wayne, Carrie. Gino asked me to read his deputation because he doesn't want to do it in an Italian accent, so I'm going to do it. Hello, members of council. Originally applied for 17 lot plan of subdivision, and in February this year, greatly reduced it to only 9 lots. Here's the ask. The reduced plan be accepted as a straightforward reduction and revision to the original plan of subdivision application. This plan change is a significant reduction in scale. It makes everything simpler and easier because it eliminates any site concerns. To me, to us, it just makes sense and seems more fair than requiring a brand new plan of subdivision application and a total restart to the planning process, including notices of public meeting, etc., when we've done all these steps already. Secondly, that the reviewed and accepted hydrogeological report supports the plan, and we provided a recent addendum from the consultant affirming suitability of this smaller site area for development. And thirdly, we would like to acknowledge that Carrie and planning staff have tried to help us along the way over the last 2 years, and it's much appreciated. And would not be opposed to paying a special application amendment fee to reflect the extra municipal work instead of brand new application. We hope these 3 simple steps are acceptable and we can work together to present the revised plan of subdivision to council for consideration in the near future. And just a little bit of brief history to help you understand where this comes from. As you may know, Gino owns the very large former McMillan Blodell plant property on Vibert Road. So you may also know that over the last few years, he has been very busy refurbishing the useful portions of the fire-affected mill itself, and has also actively been redeveloping the property into tax-generating industrial uses. And I believe these efforts help everybody. For effective property reuse, he partnered with Mr. De Gregorio, the neighbor across Cooper Road, and together they were developing 2 complementary and codependent plans of subdivision to create approximately 24 light industrial lots on Cooper Road to be extended further south than where it currently is. So they're working together on that. And that's where this plan, this very reduced plan is. So we have followed and adhered to the planning review and approval process, but due to site conditions and due to the much larger size of his property, he was a little behind in the development process. Not a problem. We completed and submitted our required hydrological report later than Silvio, and it found all of the property was suitable for proposed development. We were still faced with outstanding concerns from the Conservation Authority about possible flood plans. Therefore, in February, we submitted the amended plan to significantly reduce the lands proposed for development by plan of subdivision to be only those on Cooper Road at present. So we removed the conservation concerns from the story and focusing just on Cooper Road. We still fully intend to follow up any needed development approvals on the balance of the property in the near future, following council's planning application processes. However, we hope we can all agree that everything takes time and that this want to proceed with this one step as simply as possible. In summary, we hope these three simple suggestions, which being the revised plan, the addendum, and the fee, are acceptable. And if you have any questions, we welcome them, and we thank you for your help.
I'm not talking into this myself. I thank you very much for your presentation and the information you've given us. We will ask administration to make a report to us at our future meeting, and then we can discuss both sides.
Okay, will you let us know when that meeting?
Yes, you
Okay.
will know.
Just curious, what kind of timeline you say in the near future? Do you have a little better of the plan for the remaining part of the property?
With property development, it's often dependent on who wants to do something on your property. Just as in the case with Silvio, where he had a tenant who wanted to construct a building, so he got moving on the plan. And Silvio has several people who are interested in construction projects. One is for a mill, and then there's his mill as well. That can be done on the whole parcel, but if they need, for example, to have it mortgaged and be separate, then we'd have to do a severance, or we'd have to do a plan of subdivision. But that's dependent on the proponents' needs. So if we can move forward with, lease to build, that kind of thing at the time, that would be great. But if their financing companies require mortgageable title, then we have to do severance or a plan.
Councillor Viss?
Yeah, just for, if my memory serves me correct, for clarification, and I think you stated that in this letter that I received, there's still concerns from the Lakewood Region Conservation Authority that because of the water situation. And if I recall the public meeting, that was the concerns of the residents of the village, is the water, does that water situation there will affect the wells and so on. That was the major concern. So then when you're saying in here, and this is your statement in here, we significantly reduce the land. Don't you think that you owe it to the people, tell them why you're reducing it? Are you doing it to the betterment of them? I just don't understand why you would not want to take that back to the people and say, look, if we're trying to please you guys, we're doing something different. You're not doing something different. That's the concern I have. You don't tell me that here, and I don't know that. All I'm saying, looking here about, you got a 50% reduction, and the concern was about the water situation. It's not addressed. So I just can't.
Actually, I would have to clarify that, Councillor Vibert. Silvio, when he did his lot on the other side, had the very same questions that you're talking about in terms of the village being concerned about water. And he brought his hydro-G consultant here in front of council, and there was extensive communications and reports back and forth. And when I read all those reports and all those communications, they came to the conclusion that yes, the hydrogeological, these development, his Silvio's plan is not going to negatively impact whatsoever the aquifer for the village water supply. And it's the same thing here. This plan is actually technically smaller than Silvio's. And it will not affect any aquifer. And the consultant has provided an addendum to that effect, saying, yeah, he has looked at the reduced area and he is 100% professionally convinced, and he'll put his credentials and stamp on it that, yeah, there is no problem. But we be assured, Council Viz, that the concern about the balance of the property, that will all be done in due course if and when we need it. As I mentioned to Bernie, to Councillor Campoff, if and when we have to do additional developments, they're going to go through the planning approval process. And yes, there will be a public meeting under a severance or a public meeting under a plan of subdivision. In any case, there will be those opportunities for the public to have a look and to see. So no, this is simply a reduction in scale because we want to get this done cooperatively with Silvio so that Cooper Road can support a bunch of industrial lots that will help the municipal tax base. And the rest of the property, the issues, we want to separate the issues. And the Conservation Authority, yes, they have concerns about Coburg Creek and all that. And we will deal with that in the right way at the right time. But these lands, this relatively small area that we're talking about right now, is a very significant reduction to the plan and a very significant removes. We have an email back from the Conservation Authority saying they have absolutely no problem with this smaller portion being developed because it's outside the regulatory area, and they don't have any concerns. So there's a green light from them, green light from the consultant. Obviously a green light from Silvio because they're cooperating and working together on how they're going to build the road to extend south from Cooper Road. So I think this is all, there's always concerns with development, but there's appropriate time and place for those to be done. And we're saying to you that, hey, because this is a simplification and making it easier, making it simpler, let's move forward together and get this done. And there's plenty of opportunity to consider and review anything on the balance of the property.
I just want to make one more comment, if I may. I understand you're a professional planner. How do you think a 50% change in the original plan is not a new plan? And that's all I'm going to say. I just can't get my head around that. That's it.
We will receive a report from administration at a future meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you again. We'll let you know when it's back on the agenda.
Thank
Okay?
you. Mayor.
Thank you. Next item we have is a lot creation, 1 Boundary Drive East. And I think Thora's here as a planner.
I am. Like a taller chair.
You can,
It doesn't, okay. I'm gonna catapult myself out to. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Just make sure the light is green on your speaker there,
It will do.
or the
It still
public will
is.
not hear you.
Right. I'm Thora Cartledge, a professional planner, and know some of you personally through from farming to baseball and everything in between.
That's right.
But this morning here to speak with you with the applicant for a consent application, Nick Kaplanis. And while I'll speak first, Nick will have some comments to make too, and we're welcoming questions on the particular point that we're bringing before you. I do have some notes, and on the big screen, thanks very much, Carrie and Judy, yes, for putting up the color version of what you've already got, I think, in your application package. But the proposal for 1 Boundary Drive East. We're appearing before you this morning on the specific issue of road access, public road access to the proposed 4 rural residential lots east of Boundary Drive and Hackwell Road intersection. The specific point for discussion is whether there's potential from council's perspective for opening this segment of the unopened road allowance that is east of that intersection. And there you can see it on the screen. Really, this is both a straightforward severance application to one municipality, Nebing, under the Planning Act, but it's a more complicated request for public road access to be considered by 2 municipalities, Nebing and Oliver Papoonge, under the Municipal Act. You know, and I'll reiterate to be sure you're sure that we're aware, Oliver Papoonge and Nebing have joint jurisdiction over this road, Boundary Drive East. Opened and unopened segments that forms a municipal boundary, therefore the name Boundary Drive, Boundary Road, Boundary Drive East. And that opening the unopened road allowance requires a bylaw to be passed by each municipality to add it to your highway system under the Municipal Act. And also there's need for amendment to the boundary road agreement that you already have in place with Nebing Municipality to provide municipal highway maintenance. Our understanding from Nebing Municipality is that that agreement is updated on an irregular basis, and 2026 might be a year when you would be doing that. Just to say that a question that we've already had from some of you, and in fact from Nebing Municipality, and in fact from both the LRCA and MNRF, with whom we've had some pre-consultation on conditions for granting this this severance application or granting this approval. But why create residential lots east of the open road allowance? Well, the applicant's interested in building in a approximately 16-hectare area that's already mainly cleared. That's the orange on the screen, and abutting the Crown surveyed unopened road allowance. That's labeled and just above those orange squares. Well, what of the retained remainder as it's proposed, 54 hectares? The applicant has in mind conservation uses, potential agricultural use, or any of the several other permitted uses in the rural zone, including residential. A question we've already wrestled with, because there are natural hazards in this property. Wetland, steep talus slopes that in Nebing's OP and zoning bylaw are zoned use limitation. How would they be managed with the 4 lots to the east? Well, subject to OREG 4124 under the Conservation Authorities Act, it would be by agreement with and permit from the LRCA and through their permitting process. There's the matter of, and there I'm referring to the dashed red line that represents a good portion of the area of this 100 in standard measure about 168, 170 acre parcel. How would the Square Top Mountain maple stand be protected? It's an identified MNRF area of natural and scientific interest, an ANSI as it's called. How would that be protected? Well, through recommendations from an environmental assessment of the impact, the potential impacts to the ANSI and its ecological functions, emphasis on ecological functions, that's required in Nebing's official plan. And then as regards the unopened road allowance, and because a portion of that road allowance also sits within this red dashed line of an ANSI, there's the possibility, unless it were exempted, but that a municipal class EA would be done again on the impact of opening the road allowance. And that would be under the Environmental Assessment Act. It's why in my first note, it's a more complicated request talking about road access for this proposed development than a simple yes or no. That being said, Oliver Papoonj and Nebing have worked together on other joint jurisdictional issues. I'm aware of that. And this is a plan that would, and I'd like Nick to say a few words too, that would, of course, bring new tax base to Nebing, but potentially for Oliver Papoonj too. And with the environmental protections required through LRCA, as well as through MNRF, and then Nebing, there is always opportunity for mitigation efforts to be able to protect what's best environmentally about the property, but allow for new dwellings to grow with the area. Now, before Nick, maybe because I know he's got a couple of comments he wants to make, are there any questions about that run through that I did on the what and the how and a bit of the why? No? Okay.
As you folks are aware, I'm a resident of Oliver Papoonj. I live on Little Norway Road. My goal and vision here is this could benefit both municipalities greatly. I would pay for construction costs to bring the road allowance up to municipal standards. I understand it's already been surveyed in the past. We would revisit that as well. I would also pay for the pole line to be installed down there to provide hydro services to the lots. And I recommend if anybody of the council or administration would like to do a site visit, I've got the driveway cleared right at the corner onto my property. And you can see as far to the east as possible to the far tree line. So you can get a good vision of what we've done so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? We will be again, thank you very much for your report and presentation. We will be getting a report from the planning department in regards to this information before we make any decisions, of course. Is there anything you want to clarify, Councillor Calvert?
You've already gone to Nebing with this? Have they,
Nebing's very supportive.
they have?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll add to that. We wanted to be sure and speak with you in deputation and really not looking for approval. That's not the place for deputation, but an audience. And Nebing had asked that we speak with you first, just
Yeah.
because of the joint jurisdictional situation.
Councillor Kamphoff?
So a question for Carrie. I hope she may or may not already have the answer. That portion of the road allowance, is that owned by the municipality already?
Half of it is,
So, okay,
yeah, so we own the north half.
Yeah.
They own-
yeah, but it's not like some of the ones in Oliver that they're still owned by them. Okay, so we already own it. Okay.
Okay, Councillor
Just
Viss?
one question, clarification. I understand you have 350 meters that are already on road allowance now.
Approximately, yes. Yes, this is a concept sketch, so hasn't been surveyed.
For lots, so if you decided you'd be on open road.
Well, in fact, that's been considered in the past and at least 2 lots approved on the open. But in that area, and it doesn't show in an overlay on this screen, is another hazard area in the area of the Beaver Pond wetland, not been evaluated, so not provincially significant, but in the northwest corner. So much less area to build there.
Just one further comment. You gotta remember, we're elected by the residents of Oliver Papoonj to do the best for their residents. this road is not going to return one iota to the municipality of Alpha Platoons, as far as I can see, and according to your thing, all the benefits is to the idle government.
Okay, again, we will be getting a report in regards to this presentation from administration. We can let you know which meeting it will be at. And then we will discuss it, both sides or both reports at that
That's
time.
great. Thanks
Okay.
very much.
And, if you want to, we can let you know when, so I'm sorry, Wayne.
I'm curious about this ANSI designation there. Is the sugar maple the predominant tree, or is it just interspersed with all kinds of other species, or what?
In fact,
10% of the trees, or?
I can't speak to percentage, but I can speak to dominant. And in the ravine between between ridges on the property, and mainly in the southern portion, the bottom half of that screen. It's the furthest north stand of sugar maple in Ontario. And so significant for that reason. The agricultural use that's mentioned in the application, and I think I mentioned it this morning, would be for a tapping operation, which is a permitted use in the rural zone.
Hmm.
It's not the only species. It can survive as a maple stand for harvesting, syrup harvesting. If it's an alone stand, but in this instance, it exists with mixed forests, conifer as well as deciduous.
Okay. Okay,
Great.
thank you very much for coming this morning. We appreciate it. And again, if you haven't signed in, please sign when
Did
you
that.
leave. Thank you. We also have noted the letter we received from Ed Smith that in regards to this application, but it will come back to us with another report. Thank you. The next item we have is a resolution approving the minutes of the public meeting held on February the 10th. It's been moved and seconded to approve those minutes. Were there any errors or omissions? As there were none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Any discussion on them, any items on those minutes? We also have a resolution approving the minutes of the council meeting held on February the 10th. Were there any errors or omissions? All in favor of the minutes as presented? Opposed? Carried. We now have reports from municipal officers. We have fire and emergency services. We have the minutes of the officers' meeting held on January the 26th, and it's page 49 to 56. Is there any questions or thoughts for the chief? Fire chief in regards to the minutes, or again, in regards to any items other than the minutes? All righty, Councillor Kamphoff.
Just curious, I know we've discussed it in the past. The reorganization that's currently being worked on, what's the current timeline that we're looking at for that?
So I'm in the process of finishing the report. My intent was to have it at this meeting. I just couldn't get it done in time. The report will be done for the next council meeting with options.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions of the minutes or fire chief? No? Did you have anything further to bring to us? Okay, thank you very much, Sean. Now we have two RFQs reports. The fire chief has indicated that he will leave the room during the discussion of these two items. The first one is report number 2026.32 to extend the RFQ for a hose service. And we have two resolutions. I'm not sure which ones were signed.
It appears to be option one that we continue with.
Okay, that we recommend the extension of the RFQ 38/2024 for the variety of host testing and maintenance services. Okay, so that resolution has been moved and seconded. It's open for discussion. Yes, Councillor Viss?
Well, Mayor Lucy, the reason I signed that is simple. It's straightforward. There was only one bidder on the thing. And somewhere I read through here that the prices he kept until the end of 26. So why would we put out another request for proposals? And so it's both of them, you know, I think it was straightforward as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, thank you. Councillor?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will call that resolution for a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Carried, and therefore the or is no longer there. Then we have the second one, which is an extension of fire and emergency services standing offer, RFQ 09/2023. Again, it's my understanding that the first one got the signatures, the mover and the seconder. So it's been moved in second and is now open for discussion for the first resolution. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Perhaps someone can whistle Sean back. It's probably on the computer. Next item we have is the police services agreement with the employee compensation increases, page 61 to 65. There is no resolution. It is just a report. So if you have any questions on the report, I'm sure we've all looked over it carefully. And any questions, Councillor Kamphoff?
Not a question, just want to express disappointment in the city and in their contract negotiations. Nothing against the police. And I mean, the union's job is always to ask for more. And it looks like they did a great job from their perspective, but that's a pretty substantial ongoing increase in wages and benefit costs that are going to be borne by everybody in this region. So that's, I don't think it's acceptable.
Perhaps negotiations could have gone a little faster. Then we wouldn't have such a having to go back for 2024, 25, and now 26. Any other comments or questions?
When I was going through this, I thought in our budget that we put in 10%. And that still leaves us 25,000 short. I'm trying to get my head around it. Where's that? And I read the numbers here, 474, because of retro pay. I guess that's where that comes into play.
Yeah.
Right? That's where because we didn't have enough last year, and okay, then that.
Yes.
I kind of thought that's how that worked in here, because I thought if we have 10% and there's 4% increase this year, wait a minute.
It's the retro.
And then when I seen the retro, I said, I guess that's where it is. Okay, that clarified it very quickly.
Yes, it took too long to get the contract approved. Yes.
Just to clarify, yeah, if you look at page 64, our base compensation now,
Yeah.
you look at the middle of the page, it's 150,000 more than it was last year.
Yeah.
So we've been putting little increases in along the way, but we're 25,000 short.
Did you notify the city? You said 4%, but it's really 4.5%, and then we save 0.5%?
No, they confirmed the numbers.
Okay.
Well, all righty. So this was for our information and obviously will have to be paid.
Yes.
We have a report and resolution in regards to the Kakabeka Falls Legion Road races. The report is 2026-28 and it's a request to approve permission to hold the half marathon and 8-kilometer fun run on Sunday, August the 16th, which is sponsored by the Kakabeka Falls Legion, to be approved, and that we ask the municipality to assist the event, including cones and barrels as required. And also a letter allowing the military to fly over the date of the run. This is something that's been annual. It's been going on for many years. So it's moved and seconded. Any discussion on this?
Well, the only thing, as long as staff they're well aware of it, of course, because they've seen this, and as long as they're okay doing the work, well.
We can ask
You're good
Director of
to go.
Operations.
You're good to
Okay.
go? All right. No problem.
So we have the resolution moved and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. The LRMC Fire Services meeting highlights. That was the meeting we had last week, Tuesday, I believe. And we had it with all the municipalities in the area, rural municipalities in the area, in regards to fire services, both for our own municipalities and working with the other municipalities for the betterment of the community for fire services. Was there any comment on any of these items? I believe that there was a deadline for the enabling bylaw of March 31st. We asked that every municipality have that approved then. Councillor Viss?
Yes, I have just one question. Of course, I wasn't there, and I appreciate the report here because it's fairly thorough. I agree. But I noticed the other municipalities, I don't see any comments anywhere from Gillies Township in this meeting. Were they not there?
There
Or-
was a
they have-
counselor there.
Oh, but they had no input then because there's absolutely nothing of, they made any statements in here.
No,
I noticed Conmy, O'Connor and Shunya, but nothing.
there was a comment at the end of the meeting. I believe we kind of asked each other or asked every municipality to make a comment on it. As he stated, their problem is manpower, I think he indicated. Rudy Butenhuis, Councillor Butenhuis, he indicated their problem in Gillies was not having enough volunteers.
So what does that tell us?
Well, that.
They won't be part of it?
Oh, no. That's just, that was their problem. Like they're concerned. Everybody had a concern of different force, equipment, manpower, that kind of thing. But their problem, he said, was manpower. And that was his comment. Unless somebody heard something different, that's what I heard.
Yeah, that was really all. He sat quietly through the meeting and
listened.
at the end, he
Yeah.
just said, yeah, our biggest issue is people. And so I don't know where it goes from there,
No.
but,
So can I ask a second question to that then? How is their equipment if they have no staff at all? How is the firefighting equipment they do have? Is it workable? And would we support them? Like, again, we've always said, we'll only reciprocate if you have what, so where are they at? Did they, any information of it all?
no, I don't have any indication of where they stand with things, but to the point of helping, I made it clear in the meeting that
Yes.
that if the foundation is us working together, and the question was asked by one of the other municipalities, but what happens if people aren't,
Yeah.
training and all that? And I said, then you're not part of it. It's really as simple as that. Like, there's liability for us, and we're not just bailing everybody out, and all the other chiefs were of the same position of that. So it's really, we're not forcing anybody to be part of this, but there's consequences when you're not.
Okay, yeah, so you can see where I come from when you weren't at the meeting and I'm just going over this and then it's just one area is right out of the whole picture. Now I just, wait a minute, where did that leave you? Like, do you have to have permission from council by resolution that you can go there? If they don't have? I don't know. Questions I have from looking through here, that's all.
It was, I believe it was to have the enabling bylaw done by the end of March. That would be the first way to get moving together to work, to see who's got what, who's got the training,
Okay.
all that's going to come after that enabling bylaw has been, was brought by the 31st of March.
And there is a lot of work, like the mutual aid plan is getting rewritten and updated. And I understand there's gonna be wording in there that's gonna address that kind of stuff,
Okay.
where if you're not holding up your end of mutual aid, then mutual aid's not available to you. And it's starting to turn into, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yes, Wayne?
Just wanted to comment that sometime in the past, I think it was before last summer, the Neebing, or I should say the Gillies clerk asked me for the enabling bylaw template. And I did provide that to her as well as our draft bylaw at the time. So I didn't get any indication from the clerk of Gillies what they were doing or where they were with it, but they have the material. And as noted at the meeting on February 17th, municipalities are supposed to get a bylaw together by March 31st.
I believe when we had our LRMC meeting that they commented that their report, their bylaw was at the lawyer's office for review. That was, I remember that at the meeting, it was mentioned.
And I think that's that whole idea of us putting a deadline on this.
Yes,
So you're, you got to get moving if you're going to be in or out on this.
Right.
So like, you can't keep dragging this on. Let's
Good.
go.
because
Well,
we had
as
this
long as
meeting.
That's all clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, all of a sudden you put your fire chief and your fire department on, should they or should they not? That, they shouldn't have to happen. It should be clear, cut, and say, exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, we had a,
Good.
yeah, because we had a meeting a year ago, I believe, altogether, and it just seems to be that a year ago, not much has happened in some places, so that's why we put a deadline on it.
Well, and I did mention in the meeting that the draft bylaw that the chiefs worked on was given to the chiefs to go to councils December of 2024. So it's like here we are, February 2026, and you're still talking about these. We gotta.
Yeah.
So everybody agreed to the end of March.
Yeah.
And I did, Chief Belowski and O'Connor asked me to come and help with their council meeting to answer questions, and I was there. It was Monday night, and they're moving forward with it essentially.
Good. Yeah. Yes.
I just wanted to highlight a couple of things about the meeting. I was thought it to be a very positive meeting. What I heard from the other departments and councils, et cetera, and especially you see the notes on page 74 with regard to certification. There is progress being made by municipalities on this front, and it's not insignificant. They're moving ahead. There are people out there now in every department, other than McGillie's didn't report, that have some certification under their belt. And the other thing on the bottom of page 75, the regional training center that council here saw the foresight to establish it, and that's what's making certification possible here. The Neebing chief said the next place is Sault Ste. Marie, and he's been to some other places, and they can't compare to the quality that we have at our RTC. So we're in good shape because of that.
Okay. All righty. We have next resolution moved and seconded to declare surplus of the Pitney Bowes postage machine. It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Councillor?
I know nothing about postage machines, but I'm just curious, like, does this thing have value? Some old postage machine that's 21 years old?
Wait.
Scrap price?
It's very old. I don't think it has value, but well, I shouldn't have said that because we're going to try to sell it.
You now said it publicly.
Well, it could be, somebody might want it for parts or whatever, but it's workable, but it
just-
did break down on us. It's a 20-plus-year-old machine, eh?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
required.
So I mean, we replaced it. The breakdown was the software glitch. And it happened when it was
Yes.
mailing out the taxes, which is the worst possible time. And we replaced it, partly because we were looking for a machine that had other functions. And so the current one we have stuffs our envelopes and stuff for us too, which is significant reduction in manpower
labor,
at that
yes.
labor. So if, anyone's listening and, they run a charity or another municipality, it will still run for them. It's just a
Yes.
matter of
It's just,
making sure the software gets updated.
right.
So
And doesn't have all the services that you have now.
it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of our new one, but if
Correct.
you're smaller, 1,000 instead of 6,000,
Yeah.
then it would be perfect for you.
Thank you.
Good sales pitch. Also, yeah, Bob, you just gave away $5,000.
So I don't even remember at this time. Did I call a vote? Okay, I'll call a vote. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? I think we did say yes. Opposed? We could have checked it off, but. Okay, the next item we have is the insurance renewal. We have a report here and it does not indicate, is there a resolution with this insurance or is this just for our information right?
Yes, there is a resolution. Report.
Okay,
It's a late item because we didn't get the renewal documents until, gee, what day was it? The 23rd.
Mhm.
So recent stuff, but the resolution says our premiums $353,275 plus tax for the insurance program. That's the commercial, general liability, property, et cetera. And our cyber insurance is $8,855. So that's what's in the resolution for us to look at today. Our insurance year is March 1st, so we need to get the insurance in place.
Mm.
And on the report, you'll see a few schedules showing different aspects of it financially. The key one to look at is on the second page of this report that talks about how our renewal compares to our budget. In this instance, what we've been doing with our budget, the line is fatter than it needs to be. And we have almost over $36,000 surplus in that line, so that'll cover the police cost and some other issues that may go wrong with us, for us during the year.
Now we've said it, now the insurance will go up a little bit more next year or the year after. Okay, so we do have the report and the resolution that's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now we have reports of committees, which is the health unit. And then we have petitions and communications. We have something from the Ontario Federation of Agriculture, which will be D. So the first item we have is a bylaw for the Thunder Bay District Veterinary Services Committee. It's been moved and seconded, and that representatives on the committee for our municipality are Peter Albers and Councillor Bernie Kampoff. I don't know if anyone asked him, but it's on there, so. Councillor Kampoff?
So I've been attending these meetings for a long time, both for this or for other organizations. Unfortunately, the meeting this year, I am not available to attend. So if somebody else from this council could attend, that would be good. If not, it's not the end of the world, but
When is the date?
March 5th.
March 5th?
Yeah. So next week.
Next week, yeah. Okay, in the evening?
7:30 PM is on page.
Okay.
84.
Okay, I haven't.
Oh, it's municipal league, same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's not the end of the world.
Okay. I'm available that night. I can go.
Do we want to
Have fun.
Pardon?
Who represents?
Yes, I will go just for this one meeting,
There you go.
if I'm allowed.
I'll just write a little resolution to that effect, so
Sure.
it'll be official.
So we'll just move past that one for the moment. The next one is Protect Our Food Act. This was a petition that came to us urging the government to support every measure to protect our farmland and aggressively prevent further losses on the future of agriculture in Ontario. Is this something you would like to see come back at our next meeting? It's on page 89.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong by supporting this. We should protect agricultural land because
Okay.
if you look at any countries that don't have agricultural land, guess what? They're the poorest in the world. So let's not get even bored with them. So I would support this.
Okay, so that'll come back at our next meeting, please. And then we have the Bell Fiber resolution, calling on the government of Canada to strengthen affordability requirements to a federal broadband funding,
Yeah, I see.
universal access programs. Would you like that to come back to our next meeting? Sorry for motion. No, okay. And D is the Ontario Federation of Agriculture Municipal Council Agricultural Awareness and Engagement Survey. It is a survey we received.
That's this.
So that is something that we can do.
5 minutes and that generally takes, I done it already.
Oh,
5
okay.
minutes is about right.
Okay, 5 minutes is good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 5 minutes is,
Okay, we can do that.
it's
Yes.
doable.
Good. We have a resolution that has to be moved and seconded, please.
I'll read it out. The council selects Mayor Lucy Klusterhuis to attend the Thunder Bay Veterinary Service Committee meeting on March fifth, 26. Be approved.
So we need a mover and a seconder. Yes. Yes. Okay. On behalf of Bernie. Campoff. Councilor Campoff.
Yes.
Okay, motions, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, opposed, carried. Now we have petitions and communications for information only, which is the Earth Day Canada, the shift, February 2026, which is from Thunder Bay Police Services. Highway 1117, council identified safety concerns and recommended improvements. This is from the Township of Conmee. They sent us a 2-page letter on those safety concerns and improvements. The NOMA Great Bear Project under One Project, One Process Framework. This is released from NOMA. And then we have a resolution in regards to the NOMA conference, which is taking place April 22nd to 24th at the Valhalla Inn. And for early bird ticket deadline is February the 27th. So we have a resolution moved and seconded. I think the lines are blank. We see one word in there, Donna Peacock. Donna Peacock has asked to be on that one, to go to that conference. Any other persons like to go
I'd
down?
like to go there.
Councillor Calfrey, Councillor Viss, Councillor Campo. So. Okay, so the resolution's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Good speakers there.
Pardon?
Going to be some nice speakers there.
Oh, good. Okay, then we have the Thunder Bay District Municipal League Conference and Annual General Meeting held on March 5th and 6th. Oh, anyway, there's a copy of the draft agenda in our package. And secondly, we have an email from Jim Gilbert, who's the second vice president,
Yes.
in regards to the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion. And if you had a chance to read it, what it basically is they're going to open one of the, you know what they're called, but the tanks. They're going to unseal the door and they're would like to put something in on the 100th, June 11th, 2049, which is our anniversary. And then because it's the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion as a whole, this is our 76th anniversary, I believe, for the local Legion. Whatever is put in there, it will be open June the 11th of 2049, when will be our Legion's 100th anniversary. And we get a chance to look and see what's in there, a newspaper of the day, anything that you would like to as a municipality put in there, so that whoever opens it in 2049 will know what happened that day or that week. So this is just for your information, and they would like to perhaps let them know that you're interested in putting something together and what you would like to do, so that they know. Yes.
So I brought this up at our officers meeting last night and the fire department's gonna put a little package together to put in there, so.
Good. Yeah. Do you have a picture of the present council?
Yes, we do.
Good, then you should put that in there too. Hey, I don't know what year that's gonna be. I won't be around, so.
3 years.
No, I won't not be around, so. And if I am, I probably won't be able to
I'm
read it.
planning to be around.
Councilor Viss,
I gotta pester somebody.
Thought if we remember doing it.
I'll just gladly, well, I won't be here. Anyway, so thank you very much. And if the staff could maybe come up with some thoughts, or council could come up with some thoughts. They don't want anything really large because they've asked all the public schools, all 5 schools,
Yeah.
to put something together, the OPP, different
Yeah.
organizations, the cadets, to just get a little package together and put
Right.
something in there. Okay,
Stick a cell phone in there. What's that thing?
Who put a cell phone in?
Yeah. Yes.
I think I have a dead one at home somewhere. I think it still flips up even. All righty, any new business? Did I miss anything? No, new business. Counselor Calvert.
Here. Oh, I was just asked about, I know we don't plow out the agriplex entrance, is that that's status quo, right? Okay, somebody just asked me that, I said, I don't believe we do it, so. And that was basically it.
Okay, Counselor Viss?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Counselor Kemphoff?
To commend the road crew as usual for keeping roads open, and I was a drifty weekend last weekend, and I know they worked hard, and
Yes.
so, yeah. But it's March soon, so sure it'll get better.
Well, I don't, yes.
Just a question, Counselor Campbell. Did you have to plow it up to the corner?
No, I didn't have to plow my own road this week, so.
And I also want to say thank you because I've heard a lot of comments just in the last week of people that are driving east of our municipality who are saying how bad the roads are there and how happy they are to be, how well the roads are done here. Yes.
I just mentioned the carnival is going on this weekend too at
Yeah.
Roslyn, right?
Yes, the Winter
Correct.
Carnival,
Yes.
yes. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Wayne, you had some new stuff?
Yes, I do. Yesterday I was asking the M&DM official about our NOHSC grant change order where we wanted to do some work at the Murillo Fields and build a pavilion. And I didn't get the letter, but the guy told me we are approved. So we'll be able to go ahead and build that pavilion at the Murillo Ball Field. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be well used and appreciated by our community.
Oh, thank you very much. That's wonderful news. Nice way to end the meeting. Okay, and anything new from administration, fire, treasurer, roads, planning? No? Okay, thank you very much. I have a resolution confirming the meeting that took place this morning. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And we have a resolution to adjourn the meeting of February the 25th, the time being 9:56 a.m. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.